So today's video is about how you spot a broke real estate agent. I should give a little disclaimer up front. This is more for the top producers. I think you'll find that this video is extremely helpful for you if you've got a big business going. You know what you've done to get there. You know the price you've paid to become massively successful. So I'll tell you how this came about, and more importantly, kind of a lesson for you on how you can make sure you continuously grow your real estate business by doing what top producers do and staying away from what broke realtors do. There's a reason that they're struggling in the strongest economy we've ever had in the history of America, stock market higher than it's ever been, unemployment at the lowest rate it's ever been, more home sales than we've ever had, and every single state has record prices for how much they're selling for. As a matter of fact, multiple offers on a lot of properties. And even though that started to slow a little bit, I want you to think about for the last 5 years, have you been raking it in as a real estate agent because there's been so much money flowing through the streets? If that's not the case, it might be because of the number one thing stopping agents from succeeding. You top producers that are watching, you already know this isn't you, but I'm going to kind of disclose what that issue is. The number one issue for most salespeople that aren't doing really well, particularly in the real estate world, but really any sales industry, is something that's happening with them internally. And I want to explain what I mean by that. So we all know a lot of people don't think very highly of salespeople, right? Doesn't matter what kind of salesperson it is. They're a little standoffish. The guy at the jewelry counter, the car dealer, the realtor, the whatever they're selling, they're a little bit standoffish when they're dealing with salespeople, right? And let me ask you a question. Who hates salespeople more than anyone? Other salespeople. But only the bad ones. The good ones absolutely love it. So I'll give you an example. Before I became one of the top agents around, coaching 30,000 realtors, all that stuff, I struggled miserably. I lost my house to foreclosure as a real estate agent. I had my car repoed during the office tour, no less. So when I first got my license, that was the first 2 years before I figured out marketing and started making millions of dollars. I was one of those losing realtors. But here's the difference with me. I wasn't adverse to watching sales presentations. What you'll find is a struggling realtor, every single time they're like, oh my God, here comes the sales pitch. Okay, I got all I can get. It's time for me to leave now. Here comes the sales pitch. Oh, what are you going to sell me something? Well, no shit. If you're a salesperson, you have to be a student of the game. Let me tell you what I do and what I did when I was struggling as a realtor to become successful. Every Saturday morning, I set my alarm because it's the only time I'll watch the television. Saturday morning, 6 a.m., I'm waking up and I'm scrolling through looking for the paid commercials, trying to find all of those paid commercials I can find. Back then, George Foreman Grill, the Snuggie. You've seen all of this stuff, right? I want to see how they structure a sales pitch. I want to see how they put in a limited time offer. I want to see how they're showing social proof. I want to do that. And you know what I do on Saturday afternoons? I'd look and see what's down at the convention center. Do they have any expos going on? I don't care if it's a baseball card show, if it's a gun show, if it's people selling sneakers, if it's whatever that event is. If they're selling something, I want to go. I go to the state fair. You know where I stop at the state fair? The guy that's selling the cookware and he's cutting the tomato with the ultra sharp knife. I want to see his sales pitch because it makes me a better salesperson. Doesn't mean I need to buy anything, but what you'll see is broke people and struggling realtors and realtors that will never make it in this business. If they were walking by and that guy says, hey, come here, let me show you how these knives work. They'd say, no, come on, kids. Don't look at him. He's a salesperson. Well, how that you have a bad relationship with who you are as a person if you feel that you can't subject yourself to other sales presentations. If you look at my mailbox every day, it is full. There's sometimes they can't get everything in the mailbox. Why? Because I subscribe to every single bit of junk mail that I can get so that I can see what's their sales presentation, what their headline look like, what's their call to action that they have in there. Are they sending them to a website or are they sending them to an 800 number? I wonder how they got my contact information. Are they using a mailing list brokerage so that they could get my information? Become a student of the game and you will be successful. But if you are adverse to sales presentations, If all the time you're thinking, this guy's just trying to sell me something. No shit, that's how the world works. And if you have an issue with people selling, you'll always feel like you yourself might be selling too hard. And that's the reason you don't do well. And that's the reason you think nobody's motivated. And that's the reason you think all of your buyer and seller leads aren't real serious and they don't want to meet with you. It's because the offer sucks. If you can become a student of the game, if you can watch as many presentations as possible. I did a video about a month ago here where we were talking about how mad I was. I was irate. I sat on a webinar, because I participate in these things too. I sat on a webinar for an hour and a half watching this guy give lots of training, lots of examples, lots of ads, all of this stuff, and didn't sell a damn thing on the webinar. I'm sitting there like, wallet in hand, what am I supposed to do with it? I wasted an hour and a half of my life, and you didn't give me the opportunity to actually take action with this stuff, to use the software, the book of ads, the script that you use. Like, why would you show me all of this stuff that all of these other people are making tons of money from, and you won't give me the opportunity to do it? They're making lots of, you're showing me somebody that's making $100,000 and you're telling me that you couldn't get $5,000 from me for it? You think I wouldn't give you $5,000? If you can show me even 5 people made $100,000 from it, I'm competent. I know what I'm doing. You lay it out for me. If the stuff actually works, if it worked for someone else, it can work for me. If it's laid out that well, that Joe Blow can make $100,000 with it, you best believe I'll borrow $5,000 to get $100,000. You know who won't buy that stuff? People that are never ever going anywhere in life. They're never going to grow their business. They're never, and it doesn't matter what kind of salesperson it is. If it's the jewelry seller that is a little funny and doesn't want to be too pushy, and it's their decision. If they like the jewelry, they'll buy. You're out of the business very soon, and you're going to be bankrupt when you go. You should be at every single show finding how people build value and build interest and get people really wanting what it is that you're offering. You should be on every webinar waiting for that sales presentation. You shouldn't watch like the free shit that they give you and then, oh man, here comes the sales presentation. Where do I X out of this thing? Really? How'd that work out for you the last 77 times that you've done it? Look at your bank account, you'll know. So what I want you to do, if you're a follower with me, I want you to make a lot of money. I want you to do extremely well. I want you to become a better salesperson, and I want you to be good mentally with the value you provide for them so that it is the client's choice. I don't believe in high pressure sales, but I do believe that you should give a lot of value, a lot of knowledge and education so that it's their choice that they want to work with you. And if you become a student of the game, if you watch paid commercials, if you listen to the commercial on the television in between your show, I watch the commercials. I don't watch the show. I have TiVo. And what I'll do, I don't care what it is, if it's Cheers, okay? I don't watch Cheers. I think we've all seen every episode anyway, right? But I will TiVo it so I can watch the freaking commercials, because that's how you learn how to be a better salesperson. I don't want to watch Storage Wars. I want to see, why are they putting these commercials to the people that watch Storage Wars? Because there's a target market there. That's why when you're watching Shark Tank, you see Barbara Corcoran is promoting whatever that offer is, or Mark Cuban is promoting the first commercial out of the gate right after the break, right? There's a reason for that, because they know the people watching Shark Tank would love for Mark Cuban to endorse this product. I want you to really start thinking about how you become a better agent, and it's all a mental game. You got to understand one thing. I do a lot of conferences. Many of you know I've got a seminar coming up here soon. I'm not selling it to you. You can't even get in because it's for our inner circle members only. But I want to encourage you of something here. Our last conference we had, 200 agents in attendance. How is it possible that 200 people can sit there? Let's not even say 200. Let's say there were 5 from the same market. As an example, Palm Beach, Florida. I have 5 or 6 agents from Palm Beach, Florida that were in that room. How is it possible for 5 people to get the same binder, see the same information, see the same presentation, hear every single word sit side by side. One makes 300 grand and one makes 50 grand. How is that possible that that's what they use the info for? See, the problem is not the info. The problem is not the coaching. The problem is not the binder. The problem is how they receive it and how they implement it. I can tell you the problem. The agent that only made another 50 grand, that was like 5 months ago. If you only made 50 grand in 5 months, you are whacked out when it comes to how you sell real estate. Do you know what kind of market we're in right now? So you've got to know what to do to implement this stuff the right way and get your mind wired the right way so you can implement it for profit. And if you have an issue with salespeople, if you have an issue internally that you don't feel like you're providing enough value for the prospect, you feel like because what I have isn't good, I have to push it really hard. And I don't like pushing hard because it's uncomfortable for everybody. I'm not uncomfortable selling because I know how much it helps people. Again, if you have something, and this is even me, I do very well now. We make so much money, we give it away. But if you today have something that I can make $100,000 with, you best, even not knowing you, give me the presentation. I'll sit through as long as you have, and I'll write you a check for I'll write you a check for 10 grand because I know it's going to get me results. You should sell so damn hard to me. You should call me back every day. Greg, you're missing out on 100 grand if you don't do this. I'd be stupid not to take advantage of that. I'll sit through the longest presentation in the world if it's good. So you as a real estate agent, again, my sole purpose is to make sure you're making a lot of money. I'm already fine. I want you to do well. I've struggled. I've lost all that crap. I've been embarrassed in my office. I've had to sit down with the broker and say, man, I'll pay you the office fees whenever I get my next closing, but I just don't have it to give. I've been that realtor before. And the problem was I wasn't thinking the right way. When I turned on that switch to start learning from others, to start watching sales presentations, it drastically changed my business. I became the top agent in the city, top agent in the state, and then one of the top agents in the country. Now coaching 30,000 realtors around the country. It's because of how we think, and I want you thinking the right way. You want to see a damn good sales presentation? You'll see a good training around it too, but I want you to watch the pitch. I want you to watch how much value I can create for you. Somewhere in this link, or somewhere in this description is a link to getfastclosings.com. Don't go there unless you have 40 minutes. But if you do have 40 minutes to see some ad examples and take pictures of it with your phone and actually implement this stuff and then watch the presentation, you'll see that it doesn't need to be pressure. You just need to build value so people realize that your service will help them. What you can do for them as a buyer or a seller will actually help them tremendously. And if you get that part right, if you get internally your sales presentation right, you're going to see a drastic difference to the results you get and how receptive your clients are to you. That's how you get referrals. When they find out how passionate you are and you actually help them, they will refer you. But not just if they went with you because you were the option that they found. Okay? I'm doing a Facebook Live. If you are watching this live, I'm doing a Facebook Live Sunday, which I'm doing a lot of planning for. It's going to be this Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. I don't know how to get you a link to it or whatever, but if you go to my main page here, you'll see it up at the top, bookmarked at the top. It'll show that I'm going live this Sunday. You want to participate in that. We'll have several hundred agents on, but I'm going to show you how to get 4 to 6 closings before the end of the year. Exactly what to do to get 4 to 6 closings before the end of the year. I think you'll find it helpful for you. If you need me to send you a direct link, you can just comment here, send me a link or whatever. I can shoot it over to you. But make sure that you like this video and you're following our page. I always encourage everybody, turn on notifications. Follow the page and turn on notifications because it's going to let you know when I go live. And you don't want to miss out on some of these where I'm getting case studies together, examples, ads that you can use, scripts you can use. It's all about getting your mind right so that you do implement correctly. So hopefully you found that helpful. If there's anything I can do for you to help you in growing your business, I'm here to help. I'm very passionate about seeing results. If you are on my list, if you're in our Inner Circle membership, you saw the email I sent today from an agent that just joined up with us, already got 3 deals in contract. I said, you know what? Call her. You don't think it's real? Call her. Google her. Check her out. 3 deals in 5 days, had no idea what Greg Luther Inner Circle was before she signed up. So I want to do the same for you. I want to see your results. I don't get a dime from her getting those closings, but man, does it feel good to see agents that feel confident again. So I want that to be you as well. Make it a profitable weekend. I hope you join us on Sunday. Go out there and sell some houses. I'll talk to you soon, and bye-bye for now. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that video, and listen, we've got a lot more information for you to help you with growing your real estate business. We load new videos nearly every day, and I want you to have access. So you got to do two important things. It's both totally free. Number one, I want you to subscribe to this channel. You'll see the little subscribe button for you to click. If you don't have an account with YouTube, set it up. It's totally free. You got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important factor, you got to ring the bell. Right next to that subscribe button, you'll see a little bell to turn on notifications. That will let you know every time I load a new money-making video to help you with growing your real estate business. Subscribe and make sure you ring the bell. We'll see you in the next video.